Sunday. Happy Sunday. I cannot believe that we are in October already. We are in October already. Yes. Hey, sister. Hi. Looking fab.
Yeah.
Getting, getting some of that Georgia sun. Yes.
Yeah, so
So,
I'm actually leaving out of um this is let's see. Well yes, Wadada
data.
juice bar or
Okay.
health food. It's a healthy market and juice bar. Yes,
Okay.
so yeah, like I said, it fit right in with our topic today.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is the weather like so far?
The weather has been nice. I feel like they still having like summertime or something. It was like
Really?
yeah, it's like 84 degrees. Like you see how like we be in like we're in jackets and stuff. You know what I mean? Because out of Philly, no, they don't
Uh-huh.
have no jackets. Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, hmm yeah. Just one more thing. Like with since to go along with our topic today, they have a whole mural of Queen Afua.
Oh
So
wow.
if you don't know who Queen Afua is, look her up. Okay. Yeah. Just on the topic of health and awareness.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So what part of Georgia is that in downtown Atlanta?
Yes, we are.
Hmm.
Yes.
Queen Afua.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Afua, AFUA.
AFUA. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you said it's nice and warm.
It is. It is. Today was really nice. It seemed like it started out kind of on the cloudy side a little bit.
Really?
Um, yeah, just a tad. You know what I mean? We was like, we kept checking the weather. You know what I mean? Like, wait, it's supposed to be sunny. But yeah, it has straightened out for us.
Yeah. So you're not missing our weather. We like in the 60s. So yeah.
Yeah.
So embrace the Georgia weather. When we come back,
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get a little bit of warmer weather, but not a whole lot. It's going to probably be upper 60s here. So when you get back, just
Mhm.
ready. Fall is officially here. Um, yeah, I've been talking about fall, getting ready for
Yeah.
fall. Because it seems like it's coming pretty fast. Like it's here. It doesn't seem like it, but it is here. And
Mhm.
so just getting ready. So yeah, child, it has been a lot going on this week, as you already know. As you
Yeah.
already know. So I didn't even know how my strength was gonna be for today.
Right.
Really. Hi babe. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Yes. Did you freeze up? You still there? You still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Your bro saying hi to you. Yeah, it
Uh,
seemed like you had froze up for a second. Yeah. So
yeah. Froze up for a second.
yeah, you did freeze up for a second. But yeah,
Okay.
it has been such a crazy, crazy week. So that's why I'm like I felt compelled to talk about all that's going on this month. It is a lot of awareness going on this month, right? So yeah, we're gonna talk about the month of October and what's actually going on for this month. So yeah, it looks like you have frozen up again.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you have definitely frozen up. You have definitely frozen up. Yeah, child. So yeah, it was definitely rough. With the sudden passing of our big bro. Yeah. Um, that was shocking. So we're still trying to navigate through that. So he passed on October the 1st. So yeah. And ironically, that is the beginning of awareness month. October is
Right.
a lot of awareness. So I see you. You're coming in and out. You're coming in and out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
October is a lot of awareness this month, right? So, um, I just, like I said, I felt compelled to really like talk about this because health awareness is so big. It's so important. Guys, we just have to be aware of what's going on in our lives.
Right.
Yeah. So, with
With
that
our
being said,
bodies.
our bodies,
Hmm.
with our
Our
minds,
mind.
yes.
Hmm.
Oh man. So, in light of October being Health Awareness Month, um, it's a lot of days in October that are honoring health awareness. So, some of the um things that we are being mindful of is like breast cancer awareness. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it started October 1st, and of course it goes to the end of the month, right? So um, I know breast cancer affects a lot of people. I mean, I know people that's been affected by breast cancer, and it's no joke. It's really no joke.
Right.
So they saying
Yeah.
that breast Cancer Awareness Month is an international health campaign held every October to raise awareness about breast cancer and promote early detection and prevention. This month is known for its pink color theme and features a
Hmm.
variety of campaigns and programs. Hello, hello, welcome in, Jaden, welcome in. So they said here are some things that you can do to help raise awareness and reduce your risk of breast cancer. Um, Getting regular checkups. I can't even like stress that enough. They said regular checkups of your breast can help you find breast cancer early and when it's more likely to be treated successfully. And they also have National Mammography Day. Mammograms are like a good way for early detection. Like I think I started getting my mammograms probably late 30s, early 40s. Like I started real early. Started real early getting my mammogram. And they actually designated National Mammogram Day for October the 18th, right? So
Hmm.
they said, like what are the different symptoms, of breast cancer? Um, they said like if you have like a lump or thickening in your breast, that's why they said do self examinations and stuff. Like if something don't feel right, um, that's a sign that something could be going on, right? So know
Right.
your body. Changes in your nipple in appearance. Like if it's like looks different, your nipples, they said that could be a sign that something is going on.
Mhm.
They said if you have like blood or discharge coming from your nipples, that could be a sign that something's going on.
For
Okay,
real, that sounds scary.
that sounds
Like,
scary. It
yes,
does
you definitely, what I mean, something unusual like that. Like, yeah,
something.
definitely get that
Yes,
checked out.
get that checked out, child. Yes, like I said, like if it change your breast change color, like that's something
Like,
going
that's
on.
like something being like, hello,
Hello, like something,
hello.
right? Mm-hmm.
Man, and that's the thing, Mika, the body be giving so many signs.
Many
It'd
times,
be so many early signs. It's like it's no reason to wait that long
right,
before, what I'm saying, to finally do something.
right. Right.
Yeah, so yeah, just really pay attention to your
Pay
body.
attention to your body. They said that pitting of the breast skin, like if it start like pitting and stuff on your breast.
Mhm.
If you have a nipple pain and stuff, that's a sign and stuff. So it's like I'm a big advocate for like health awareness, like being mindful of your
Yeah.
body, paying attention to what's going on. Um,
Mhm.
they saying that you
And
could lower
talking
the
to
risk.
somebody.
Talking
Yeah,
to
cuz
somebody,
sometimes yeah, it's like, and it might even be nothing. It might
like
okay, that's normal stuff, oh, around this age, these things start to happen, or it might really be something normal, and you find out that it's common. But that's the
right,
good thing. Find out that it's common, or
like that.
something,
Exactly,
and I'm saying,
exactly,
and not like a bigger issue. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But they saying that it's different ways that you can like lower your risk. Things like keeping a healthy weight, which I didn't realize that could lower the risk of
Mm.
keeping a healthy weight. Like business being
Mhm.
physically active, they said it's a good way. Okay, like that makes sense. Like leaving the
Mhm.
active lifestyle. I mean, like these are not foolproof, but they're saying that there are ways that you can like lower your risk. They saying like
Yeah.
to drink alcohol or drink alcohol in moderation. They said that's the way to lower risk. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's like so many different ways that breast cancer can be prevented. But like you said, it's not foolproof.
Yeah.
It's not foolproof.
But so what I'm hearing is saying it's like, all right, by like avoiding toxins.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, because that's what alcohol, it literally is poison to your
Poison.
body. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so it's like, avoiding toxins, having a healthy weight. It's like, all right, so that means it's like watching what you eat. You know what I mean? Having a healthy diet, you know. Ooh,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Right.
having a healthy diet.
Uh-huh. Right.
Sorry. Um, so that these things, okay.
Hmm.
Um, you know, but yeah, but what I say, like the avoiding toxins,
Hmm.
like that is that can be even be in so many ways. You know what I mean?
It could be.
Avoiding, like, the food toxins, mental toxins, and things. Because stuff just starts to store up in your body and turn
Hmm.
into other stuff.
Hmm.
Things. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that'll lower the risk for you.
That was definitely lower the risk. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So it's just like be aware, pay attention to the signs, get your checkups, ladies, get your checkups. Yes. I'm a big advocate. I make sure I get my mammograms like every year. Like I had like a scare a few years back, maybe like 4 years ago, when I got my checkup and they were like they saw something in my breast. I'm like, oh my God. It was just the thought of hearing that was like super
I'm
scary for me,
sure.
super scared. I'm like, oh
Yes.
my God. Like, no, 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 no.
Wow.
So I had to do like
Right.
a follow up. Um,
Mhm.
like it was like you need to do further like testing and stuff, like for the breast. So yeah, we I did a follow up and they just said that it was end up being a cyst. But I'm
Wow.
like, okay, like, ooh. I'm like, but what do y'all want to do about it? Like, they like nothing. I was like, as long as it's not bothering you, it's not paining you or something like that, you're not gonna do anything about it. But these are things that you have to like be mindful of, like keep getting checked up
Right.
because sometimes like this can turn cancerous and stuff. So you got to be
Mm.
real mindful
Mhm.
of that. So I'm always got that in the back of my mind. Like every time I get my mammogram, like y'all make sure everything is still good because things can turn ugly real bad. I know too
Yeah.
many people that have been affected from breast cancer. You know.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm always like getting checked up, but like I remember that feeling. So I really empathize with women that get that diagnosis. Like just the thought of it is scary. So
Yeah.
yeah. So they said
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, no. I was just saying, like, yeah. I mean, just like you say, being in that office, and, I mean, thinking that that there's a possibility or something like
Mhm.
that, just even for a second, it's pretty scary.
Very scary. Very scary. Yeah. So now, October, like I said, this is Health Awareness Month. Um, they have so many different categories that you should be aware of for this month that they're actually honoring. Okay. The next one they said this is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Hmm.
Like, whew, that is a very, very
National Domestic Violence
awareness
Awareness
month.
Month.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That is
That's
a
a big
very,
issue.
a very, very big issue, a very big issue, right?
Hmm.
Um, because like a lot of people go through domestic violence, and it comes in all forms. It comes in all forms,
Yeah.
and like they say, what is domestic violence, right? Domestic violence
Hmm.
is violence committed by someone in the victim's domestic circle. This includes
Yeah.
partners, ex-partners, immediate family members, other relatives, and family friends. Right?
Mika.
That's how they categorize domestic. Okay, and they said
Yeah. Hold on,
that
Tamika. I'm gonna have to come out for a minute. My phone is feeling really, really hot.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, welcome in, Kathleen in Raw's place. Welcome in. Yeah, we're well. We're doing our regular sister talk live where we talk about different topics, especially things that are closely related to us or that we have some kind of knowledge about. I am sorry to hear that your mom and her mom had breast cancer. Yes. They say that it is hereditary, it can pass along, so that's why um screenings are very, very important. Very, very important. Um, to try to prevent it, and they always ask you like, is there a history of it in your family? Um, and if so, to get regular checkups and things like that, you know. Um, so yeah, so we're basically talking about health awareness month because October is covering the whole realm of things that we need to be aware of. So yeah, we just talked about breast cancer awareness because of course October is breast cancer awareness month. Now I'm talking about domestic violence. Um, domestic violence is a huge issue, a very huge issue. Um, they're saying that the term domestic violence is used when there's a close relationship between the offender and the victim. There's usually a power gap between them. The victim is dependent on the offender. Domestic violence can take the form of physical, sexual, or psychological abuse. So, um, this is a big deal. I'm gonna get more into this. It said that it's really a lot of forms of domestic violence. So that includes child abuse. Senior abuse is a form of domestic violence. They say honor based violence. So that's considered like honor killings, like female genital mutilation, like forced marriage. They said that's a form of domestic violence. Like, cause you hear a lot of that in different countries and stuff where like they have like the arranged marriages and things like that. So they said that's a form of domestic violence. Um, it said like all forms of abuse by intimate partner or former intimate partner, including psychological abuse and stalking, is considered domestic violence. So I'm gonna dive a little bit more into that because that actually like touches home for me. My co-host was in here. She's actually out of state right now. So, but she was joining us from Georgia. Hopefully, she can come back in um, and continue this topic and conversation. But yeah. So it said according to the Attorney General's office, Domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. Hey, House of X, thank you for coming in. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. How you doing today? How was your week? How was your week? Um, yeah, so they said it's a pattern of abusive behavior. Like I said, in any relationship used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. So domestic violence can be physical, it can be sexual, it can be emotional, it can be economic, it can be psychological, or it can have technological actions. Okay, so it could be threats or actions, um, or patterns of coercive behavior that influence another person within an intimate partner relationship. So domestic violence can happen to anyone, regardless of your race, your age, your sexual orientation, your religion, your sex, or your gender identity. Guys, domestic violence is real. It is real. Good, good. Glad to hear that, House of Vest. Glad to hear that. I appreciate you for being here. Um, yeah, it said domestic violence affects people of all sex relationships, social, not, social economic backgrounds, um, educational levels. It occurs like with intimate partners who are married, living together, dating, or they can share a child together. So they actually created like National Domestic Violence Awareness Month because um, so many people are impacted by it, right? Um, I'm a big advocate for knowing the signs. So last week we touched on like different types of relationships, okay, and a lot of them were um, knowing signs of an unhealthy relationship. So if you get a chance and you were not part of this live last Sunday, go back and check out that live because there are many signs of unhealthy relationships, especially when it comes to like domestic violence and things. A lot of red flags. Um, so I started this YouTube journey like a year ago, and I just want to say thank you for everybody for your support, your continuous support. I just hit my 300 um, subscribers. This is a day that I never thought I would see, but I am so thankful and grateful. But I say that to say, when I started this journey, let me take a sip, guys. I wasn't sure of what was the purpose, like what was my reasoning for wanting to share on this platform. Because as I said before, I've always been like very proud, very private. Yes, yes, I am David. I am registered to vote. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for coming in. But I've always been very private about my life. Like even like being like on Facebook, I only would accept friends that I knew. You know, I wouldn't accept outside people or things like that. So um, for me to be on this platform where like millions of people can view, thousand people can view, I always question that God, what was the purpose for that? And he spoke to me and said, because you have a lot to share. You have a lot to share. Um, I had went through a lot of things in my life. A lot of things that has been private. But it came to a point where God laid in my heart to um, start sharing. I'll start this YouTube platform. I started one called The Brown Life on Facebook. But I feel like I could reach a bigger audience like on YouTube. So I say that because Right now we're talking about Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is happening in October. Um, I'm a domestic violence survivor. That's not something that I always wanted to talk about or share, but it's real. It happens. Um, it was a part of my life that I never thought that I would go through or be impacted by. Um, like I seen things happening around me as I grew up, um, but you never expect yourself to be like directly impacted by it. So um, I am glad to say that I was able to get out of that environment. Um, it wasn't healthy. I wasn't aware of the red flags. I wasn't aware of the signs of it when I was in it, but I knew um, early on that it wasn't right. Right. Um, I got deep into it to where I really didn't see a way out of it. I didn't see a way out of it. Um, but now that I know the signs, like I can share the signs with you. Um, so as I touched on last week, I talked about how it starts. And for me, it started with getting isolated. Getting isolated. Um, I was in my early 20s. Um, I was with a partner. We ended up married, but I was with a partner, and it started with the jealousy. It started with the jealousy. Um, the jealousy led to the isolation. Um, I was I'm very family oriented, so I had a very, very, very good friend that I consider like a big sister to me because I'm the oldest of all my siblings. So I never had like a big sister. Um, so she was like a big sister to me. So we were like very close. So at the time when I got involved with this partner, um, he had a problem with that relationship. So I started noticing immediately that he didn't want my best friend slash sister to come around. Um, he started making up excuses. Like if she called, just say, "Oh, now is not a good time. Didn't want her to come over." Like it just started with like little things. Then it went on to like um having my biological sisters come over. It was like I don't want your sisters coming over. I mean, it was just trickling down. It was like everybody that was close to me or everybody that meant a lot to me and everybody that truly cared and loved about me, he was literally trying to like cut them out of my life. It trickled down to my parents. It was like, okay, I gotta cut everybody out. I gotta cut everybody out. It was like, I don't want you to be around none of your family. This is all the family. I'm all the family that you need. So it was ended up being about me and his family, me and his family, and um, we had young children together, and um, my children only was allowed to know his side of the family, his mom and dad. Um, so it was like a living nightmare. It was like a living nightmare, and on top of that, they had like a drinking problem. They love to like drink a lot, and I was never used to being around somebody that likes to drink. So they would drink, and you know how sometimes people they can drink, they can be a happy drunk or they can be a violent drunk. So in that case, um, he would get like a case of the Rams. Um, every time he got drunk, the more like violent and vocal, they would become. So that was like a tough situation because it's like, oh God, it's that stress level. Like every time they start drinking, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? What kind of actions is going to come behind it? So that was like literally my life. Um, uh, Worrying about what was going to come next, you know? So like I said, it was the jealousy. They became very jealous. They didn't want me to be around family. It wasn't um like physical in at first. It was more like the emotional abuse, the isolation and stuff, like to well, if you are around your family, or if I found out you're talking to friends and this and the other, the XYZ is gonna happen. It was like threatening people that I'm close with, people, my loved ones. So me being young, I'm like, I don't know this. I've never been in this situation. So, like, is he really capable of doing this? He's threatening my family. He's threatening my friends. I'm like, I don't want nothing to happen to my family and friends. So I'm like, all right, well, if this to keep them safe, I'm gonna back off. I'm not going to reach out. I'm not going to reach out. Because like when you're in that situation and you getting these threats, like you don't know if they're real threats or not. But I was like, I wasn't willing to find out because I didn't want their burden if something happened to my loved ones. And then it was the threats, like the threats are like real. So it became more escalated. Once he got me like all to his stuff, then it became like more escalated to um, you know, now you do things my way, I don't want you doing this, it was like whew, every move you make, they're on you. Every move you make, like you can't go. You like get timing where you go. I was like these are all red signs, like signs, red flags. Like if they're like clocking you, like they don't want you speaking to people. Like these are all like signs and red flags. But yeah, so yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. Yeah, it took like for things to finally like start getting physical to when it's like okay, let me get myself out of the situation. So I think that part, like I felt like if I maybe would have spoke up a little bit, if I would have oh, control. Yeah, very controlling. Yes. I felt like that if I would have spoke up, that maybe things probably wouldn't have got as far. But I was always like that strong one. Like it wasn't like something that I'll be like, you put your hand on me, I'm not gonna hit you back. Like no, it was a fight. I'm gonna be honest. It was a fight. If he grabbed on me, he had a fight. You know, so I fought back. So that's probably why like things probably like really like escalated to a point to where I had to really like suffer a lot. But I know that I like was defending myself. So I didn't like say take it lying down like you're gonna put your hands on me and you're not gonna get hit back because I definitely fought back. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't like win that fight, and um ended up with like a broken nose and um all kinds of stuff. But it took me a probably a year to like rehab from that, learn how to walk again. Not walk, but use the use of my arms and stuff. Because like one side of my brain had like shut down and things like that. Ended up going through like post traumatic stress and stuff. So yeah, so like I had been through a lot in that situation. That was like I said, early my early 20s. But I learned a lot and I got myself like out of that situation. But not everybody can get yourself out of that situation. You know, I'm just thankful and blessed that I am here to live and talk about it because I was not supposed to live through that, and I did. So um, I think me being on this platform was a way to kind of share my story. I didn't think I would ever share that story, but it's real. And know the signs. If you're in situations like that, get yourself out of it. Get yourself out of it. I know it's not easy. Come up with a plan. I had to literally come up with a plan to get myself out of that situation. And I had to pray to the Lord to help me out of that situation. So get a support system. Get a plan. Don't let them know that plan because no matter how many times I tried to get out and get away, they always coming back. They were like one step ahead. So get a plan, have a plan in place if you're going through something like that. Okay. Don't let them know. Don't have make somebody aware so they can be a part of that plan. And that's how I had to do it to get out of my situation. But yeah, so that's domestic violence awareness month, and I'm gonna give you guys a hotline number. So if you know somebody or if you're going through it yourself, they have a domestic violence hotline. You can call 1-800-799-7233. Okay, so that's domestic violence hotline. So just know the signs, be aware. So I'm gonna just talk about it, share a little bit about my story for domestic violence month. So I'm gonna switch gears because October is also health literacy month. So I know you're probably saying like, what is health literacy? Well, that's a good question because in honor of Health Awareness Month, health literacy is very important. So health literacy is the ability to find, understand, and use health related information and services to make informed decisions about health. Okay. It also involves the ability to think critically and communicate your personal needs for health. So I'm just going to pause on that right there. Pretty much you're speaking up on your health. If you feel something, say something. Okay. Like a lot of times, like you're going through something and you try to like self medicate, you try to do all these things. Um, but sometimes something could be really going on, underlying issues, and getting checkups is so important. And it says health literacy is important because people with higher health literacy skills are more likely to be healthy and live longer. However, nearly 9 out of 10 adults in the United States have limited health literacy. This could lead to worse health outcomes, strain the healthcare system, and create additional costs. So, ways to improve your health literacy: communicate well. That's basically what I was just saying. Communicate well with health care providers. Ask questions if you don't understand something, and ask your provider to write down their instructions. You know how you go to the doctor and the doctor's giving you the spill about do this, do that, do that. Like, pause them and say, you know what? Could you write that down? Like, I want to be able to follow up correctly. Because this is my health, this is my life. You know, have them like write it down, put it, give it notes so that you can follow up and you know what you need to do, and like pretty much advocate for yourself. Like, be an active participant in your own care. It's so important. Expect that your provider will ask questions and be ready to answer them. Like, if you know something wrong, say something. Tell them that this is what I'm going through. Sometimes, like, healthcare providers don't get it right and they might not ask the right question, but you know your stuff, you know your body, you know what you're going through. Like, tell them, say, this is what I'm going through. Like, sometimes you got to be persistent when it comes to your own health. Say, no, can you please set up a a brain scan? Can I get a chest x-ray? Like, advocate, like speak up. Because sometimes stuff can be dismissed. Like, so many signs and symptoms mimic each other, but you know your body. And sometimes you can just demand and say, this is what I need. As my healthcare provider, can you please schedule a testing for me? Can you give me a referral or something like that? Like, being your biggest advocate can prevent a lot of different things. um it says strengthen your health literacy. um Healthcare is you're the stakeholders. You play a key role, okay, with your own health. All right. So speaking up, advocating for yourself, being persistent when you know something's not right with you, getting that tested is like really, really important. So health literacy, like, be mindful of that, like knowing your body, being aware, paying attention to things. So another part of health awareness month for October, right, is mental. awareness. So they dedicated a whole week to mental illness. Okay, when I say mental illness is serious, mental illness is serious. So starting today up until the 12th, they have mental illness awareness week. Okay, they have World Mental Health Day, which is on October the 10th. All right. Um, they have the depression screening, which is also on October 10th. All right. I can even stress the importance of mental health awareness. Guys, that subject and that topic gets overlooked a lot. I'm gonna like dive like really deep into that. Okay. I'm gonna dive really deep into that. So today is all about health awareness. It's all about health awareness. I feel like if I'm coming to you on a live on Sundays, that I want to bring you some information. I want to bring you some knowledge. If somebody can take away something from my lives, then that makes me feel good because I want it to be um, purposeful. I want to do lives with a purpose. Okay, so I know sometimes the subjects might be a little heavy, but this my way of bringing knowledge to you and awareness. Okay, so so mental illness affects like 19% of adults and like 40% of teenagers and like 13% of children. So mental illness is real. It is definitely real. But they say, however, only half of those affected receive treatment. Facts, 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 facts. So many people are affected by mental illness but not being treated for it. Okay. It said because of the stigma attached to mental health. There is a stigma. There's really a stigma. Like, you getting known as crazy and you got issues and stuff like that. But there could be a lot of reasons for mental illness, right? It's that untreated mental illness can contribute to higher like medical expenses, poor performances at school and work, fewer employment opportunities, and increased risk of suicide. It breaks my heart every year when I hear that someone has taken their own life, And a lot of it can be due to mental illness. Like it comes in so many different forms. You never know what somebody is going through. So they said, what exactly is mental illness? Mental illness is a physical illness of the brain that causes disturbances in thinking, behavior, energy, or emotion that make it difficult to cope with the ordinary demands of life. Let's just put a pin in that. Emotion that make it difficult to cope with the ordinary demands of life. Yeah, that like sums it up right there in a nutshell. Okay, they say research is starting to uncover the complicated causes of these diseases, which can include genetics, brain chemistry, brain structure, experiencing trauma, and or having another medical condition like heart disease. It's a heart disease can lead to mental illness. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the more I dig into these things, the more I'm learning about it. I take the trip to my healthy smoothie. But mental illness affects somebody at some form, like, or if you're not affected, you know somebody that's affected by it. I remember going when we were talking about domestic violence. I remember going through so much and being so stressed that I always question like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I going through this? Right? And I just want to add another note to that because at the time I was um pregnant with my youngest daughter. Okay, and when you're going through something, you're going through stress, um, like you're constantly in a state of like anxiety. That does affect your unborn child. Okay, So I wasn't like aware that everything that I was going through was transposing to my child. Okay. But as I started like studying deep into like psychology and things like that, and how like your mental health can like transpose to like your unborn child, like that's real. That's real. Like I was going through so much trauma that my child in the womb was experiencing everything that I was going through. Okay. So yeah, that's like when you're like women, when you're carrying children, just be mindful of your stress levels. It's so important to like be aware of how you're feeling. Surround yourself um in a positive environment. Like if you're in a stressful environment, it can impact your unborn child. And I just wanted to like um you know stamp that because everything is pretty much being passed along. Okay. So I just wanted to say that since we're talking about mental illness. But they said the two most common mental health conditions are anxiety disorder. It's kind of just what I just touched on, like suffer from anxiety, like always worrying what was going to happen next. You know, being scared, being afraid. You know, not knowing what each day will bring. It's anxiety, anxiety disorders. They said more than 19% of adults each year struggle with some type of anxiety disorder, including post traumatic stress disorder. So, whew, I talked about how I went through post traumatic stress. I never knew what that was. I never knew what that was. But I know that just being in a certain area of my home where I was attacked triggered something within me. Like my body would like literally shut down. Like I would just get so overworked, just so overwhelmed from being in that area. Okay. Um, and I always had to go immediately to the emergency room because literally, like I said, my one side of my brain was just like shut down. I would lose the use of my arm, everything. Excuse me, guys. I've been suffering from a little cold this week too. But I was using the use of my limbs and everything. It was crazy, and I never knew what was going on. Okay, so finally, like when I went to the doctor, I had to keep going to the doctor after I was attacked, and um, they said you're suffering from post traumatic stress disorder. So when I say it's real, it's real. It's the same as the like how people go through something very traumatic and like it triggers a lot of emotions and things like that. That's post traumatic stress disorder. Like somebody serving like in the military. That's they get around, they hear loud noises or something like that. Um, Post traumatic stress disorder, like being in a war, being like in like really like tough situations. Like post traumatic stress is like real. And like I can speak on it because like I actually suffered with it for a long time. I did. I was impacted by it. Like especially when it came to like being around like a male. Like I didn't like a male to like grab on me and touch me. Based on my experience and stuff. So it said that's like an anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, um, is a mental health condition. Panic disorders are a mental health condition. Um, and just generalized anxiety and phobias is considered a mental health condition. They say another type is mood disorders, like such as depression and bipolar depression. How many times have you heard people say, "Oh, they bipolar," or "I'm suffering from depression," because it's real. Wow, thanks for. Oh, thank you. Hi, Travis. Type. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I felt like it's time to like share because I always talked about how the Lord led me to hi sister. Thanks for coming back in. But,
Yes.
yeah, I'm talking to our chat fam. But yeah,
Wonderful.
Travis type. I was compelled like a year ago to like actually come on this platform to like start sharing with people, and I didn't understand it a year ago, but like I said, the Lord spoke to me and says, "You have a lot to share. You've been through a lot, and it's time for you to like speak out. Maybe you can help somebody." So that's
Right.
what my mission has been. I've slowly been chipping away at my life. I try to keep it light, but when it comes to things that really touch home, that I can really talk to people and share, I just feel like I just need to share it. So this is the first time I'm actually sharing on this platform. Some of my experiences, things that I've been through. But yeah, um, this I'm talking about mood disorders now, like how people can suffer from depression and bipolar depression. Like they said that
Oh, word up.
they affect nearly 10% of adults each year. And it's characterized by difficulties in regulating one's mood. And I was talking about anxiety disorders. Since you came
Yes.
in like at the right time, because I was talking about how when I was pregnant with your niece, and I was going
Mhm.
through a lot emotionally. It was very traumatic, when I was carrying
Yes.
her, and how a lot of my feelings and my anxieties like passed on to her, and you don't realize it like when
Mhm.
you're pregnant that your unborn child is being affected by what you're
Right.
doing,
Right.
by what you're going through. So yeah, so I was just basically talking about mental illness and how it's the physical illness of the brain, and like the two most
Mhm.
common tops, the two most common health conditions was anxiety and the mood disorders. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
mental health.
I think those numbers are really high too, higher than the ones you said, like 10% of adults, or that was for something else.
That was for like anxiety, but they said as far as like mental illness, like 19% of adults and like 40% of teenagers are
Oh.
like suffer, and even children, like 13%
Mm,
of children suffer from mental health. And a lot of,
yeah.
like I said, people are like untreated because of the stigma of it, right?
Exactly. That's why I said that number is way higher.
Right.
Yeah.
They said although the general perception of mental illness has improved over the past decade, studies show that stigma against mental illness is powerful, largely due
Yeah.
to media stereotypes and a lack of
Mm,
education that people tend to attach negative stigmas, excuse me, to mental health conditions are at a far higher rate than to other diseases and disabilities. So
yeah.
people say when they say mental illness, like it's such a stigma around it. Like they said, it affects not only affects the number of people seeking treatment, but also the number of resources available for the treatment. So
Right.
stigmas and misinformation can feel like overwhelming obstacles for someone who is struggling with mental health conditions. Okay,
Mhm.
so it said like ways you can help, like show individuals respect and acceptance, like remove significant barriers to successfully help people that's coping with their illnesses. See the
Mhm.
people as the individual and not as their illness. Okay, can make a big difference.
Right.
That's why a lot of people don't speak up about what they're feeling, what they're
Exactly.
going
They don't
through.
want to be labeled
Right.
too. You feel labeled, you feel criticized,
Yes,
judged.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So like, we gotta get rid of these stigmas because mental health is real. Still, suicide rates are real. So
Mhm.
be mindful to learn more about mental health, so that way you can help support people that are affected by it. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But one good thing they said, like depression is treatable, but you have to be willing to step
Mhm.
up and admit what you're going through. You know, um, if you're having feelings like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, if you get into these slumps, and you don't see a way out, like talk about it because it could help you and it could probably potentially save your life.
Yeah, that'd be the big thing, finding the way out.
Finding a
It's
way out.
like, what I mean? Because, it's like you get into that downward spiral,
Yes,
and then it's just, it'd be hard to come back out of that. You know what I mean? Because it starts to almost feel normal after a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just, being in that sadness or being in that, that slump.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, coming out of that be seeming so unusual and so strange.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That it's almost, feel like you're not being yourself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not, you're not being normal, and what's normal for you, becomes like the sadness. And so it's like, having to be open to change,
Mhm.
too.
Yes.
And sometimes that be hard for people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then especially like, and then sometimes you're around other folks that perpetuate that person that you've always been.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so as you trying to make change and become something different and trying to grow and blossom, and then they're saying to you, "Oh, you changing." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
They're trying to keep you in their idea of how they always see you.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, it's like, making that space for growth and development, and being and not being too proud to grow up. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You
Exactly.
know, being like, yes, I'm growing. Yes, I'm developing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's
That is
okay.
okay.
Yes, I'm healing. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm doing better. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mhm.
And accepting the fact that, maybe you're not, what I'm saying, really understand that you're not doing as great as you might, would like to be doing. And let
Mhm.
yourself step into your highest potentials, higher potentials. And, you
Mhm.
know, yeah, but so a lot of them blockages, we create so many of our own blockages
Mhm.
that, keep tripping us up. You know what I mean? A
Mhm.
lot of self sabotage,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, with the
Yep.
environments that we put ourselves in a lot
Mhm.
of times.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Like I say, be mindful of your mental health. I
Yeah.
know it's like easier said than done, but just understand that it's help.
Easier said than done is the thing, because
Yep.
it's so much
Yes.
distraction.
Yes.
It's so much distraction. What I mean,
Mhm.
it's like, and then because it's like so you be trying to, but it's all this other stuff that continues to remind you of, what you have already been doing. You know what I mean? But it's like, you really have to change your environment, change your
Mhm.
eating, change, what I mean, just and really create change, in order to really get some change, what I mean,
Mhm.
or else you'll just continue to do what you always have been doing, and, be in that same slump.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But,
Exactly.
I'm just talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what my skill about mental health awareness, mental illness. Like I said, they are honored this week from starting today up until the 12th. You
Mhm.
know, so
Okay.
that's just be mindful. Yeah, they have been mental illness awareness week, the 6th to the 12th. They have a National Depression Screening Day on October the 10th. Um, and they're also having World Mental Health Day on October 10th. Okay, so that all goes
Okay.
along. Okay, with mental health awareness and stuff. So, like you said, if you know somebody that might be in a slump, um, and starting to see signs that they might be going through depression, like just say, look, let's go get screened, go talk to somebody or something, because it could potentially save their life. It can help them. Like they said, depression is treatable. Okay, but you have to be
Mhm.
willing to step up and speak up on it. Okay, so you can get the help that you need. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and I know we've done some things about healing before. I remember
Yeah.
we talked a lot about it, mindfulness, because like I said, when you think about mental
Mhm.
health and how ways to help heal your
Mhm.
mental health,
Yeah.
mindfulness is one of those ways. Like I said, you start changing and reprogramming your mind, your thoughts, the
Right.
things that you're thinking, the
Yes.
words that you're saying, the lies that we tell ourselves,
Yes.
all those different things, that mindfulness helps, taking some deep breaths and
Mhm.
stuff, what I mean, meditation, yoga, the
Mm-hmm.
energy healing,
Yes.
things like that and stuff. You know what I mean? See, that's why folks, they go back and watch one of them other videos. They can catch up. You know what I mean? And learn all about that because yes, yeah,
Right.
we gonna. That's a good thing to revisit.
Yes.
And go over that again because it's
Yes.
so important. Is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, those things is like you start. You get your mind together, get your mind, your body. What I mean, your spirit. Is the things what you thinking, what you doing, what you feeling. What I mean,
Mm-hmm.
finding that balance.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Find that balance. Yep. So okay. So like I said, we are in October, and we're just talking about a lot of health awareness that's going on this month. So I started out by breast cancer awareness is in October. Um,
Hmm.
domestic violence awareness is in October. Um, health literacy month, like being aware, paying attention to signs, um, advocating for
Hmm.
yourself, being aware, um, mental illness. Um, they're not. It's not like the full month, but they're having a week designated to mental illness and getting screened for it. Okay, like I said, screening is October the 10th. Um, now I'm going to talk about sudden cardiac arrest awareness.
Is it getting hot again? Oh my,
Sudden,
yeah,
or
it's getting hot again.
is it?
Like,
Oh boy. Um, yeah, but I'm going to talk about sudden cardiac arrest awareness month. So, guys, I'm not sure if you have been following along. So this week, I lost my big bro. Well, he's a part of our family. So I'll just give you a back history. Um, like he's been in our life. Hi, Cruz Bolero. Thanks for coming in. Um, him and my husband served on the police department together. They were pretty much like god brothers. Um, they know each other for over 30 years. He passed away on October 1st, right as the month was starting. It was unexpected. It was unexpected. Um, so the sudden cardiac arrest really hits a little different by me talking about it. Um, yeah, when I say he passed away sudden, he passed away sudden, and it was from sudden cardiac arrest. So a sudden cardiac arrest is a condition that occurs when the heart stops beating unexpectedly, which can lead to loss of consciousness and collapse. Um, it is caused by abnormal heart rhythm. It's different from a heart attack, which is caused by blockage and flow to the heart. Okay, so I wanted to kind of talk about this last because I've been like directly impacted by it this week. Um, so pretty much it's like a sudden loss of your heart activity due to irregular heart rhythm. Like your breathing stops, the person becomes unconscious without immediate treatment. Sudden cardiac arrest can lead to death. Um, so that's kind of like what happened with my big bro this week. Like I said, it's not the same as a heart attack. A heart attack happens like when the blood flow to your heart is blocked, but cardiac arrest is not due to blockage. Um, it's so many different ways that you can know that you're going through cardiac arrest, or if you're around somebody that's going through cardiac arrest. Um, like I said, this happened like all of a sudden. Out, what out on a Tuesday, early Tuesday. Apparently not feeling well. Knew something was wrong. And you know, I guess didn't go to the didn't go to the hospital like right away. Um, but it's so many different symptoms of it. You know, like I said, like sudden collapsing, like no pulse, no breathing, loss of consciousness. Um, and they said before things that can happen before the cardiac arrest. So, excuse me. Um, chest discomfort. So my bro was complaining that his chest was hurting. So my husband actually spoke to him the night before on September 30th. And he was complaining that he was having trouble breathing, and they said chest discomfort, shortness of breath, weakness, fast beating, fluttering, or pounding of the heart palpitations. So I'm gonna repeat that again because it's a lot of things happen before you actually go into sudden cardiac arrest. If you're having chest discomfort, shortness of breath, weakness, fast beating, or fluttering, or pounding of your heart, that could be a sign that you're about to go into sudden cardiac arrest. And the night before my big bro passed away, he was complaining that he was having trouble breathing. Like his breath was very short and shallow. Like he was like really struggling to breathe. Um, so my husband said to him, like, you know, you really need to get that checked because you don't sound good. And you know, you can see that he was like having struggles, okay, breathing. But apparently he went to the doctor prior to that conversation on September 30th, and he did blood work and he was waiting, okay, for the results of that test, but he never made it. He never made it. Um, but could they say cardiac arrest can actually happen without no warning, but it's symptoms that you could be about to go into cardiac arrest. So I just want to keep emphasizing that. All right. Um, they said that when the heart stops, it's a lack of oxygen, like that can quickly cause death or brain damage. Right. So what I got from he was with his lady when it happened, and um okay, but um they said that if you start feeling these symptoms like chest pain or discomfort, you feel your heartbeat pounding, like you feeling your like irregular heartbeats, like if you're wheezing, like these are things that my bro was saying. Like he was having trouble breathing, like he's like wheezing when he was talking. Like these are things that like we weren't aware of, but like we did tell him like go to the doctor, and he did go because he knew he wasn't feeling too well, right? Shortness of breath, like feeling faint. So, um, sudden cardiac arrest is real. It's real. Um, like I said, you just had a family member just passed away this week, so we're still grasping that because it was unexpected. We're still kind of in shock that he's gone. So I think when someone passes away suddenly and you're not prepared for it, it hits a little different. Um, it's what that kind of I'm not in denial, but still trying to wrap my mind around it. Um, to like think probably things that may have like saved his life or might have been prevented if he was able to get to the hospital like right away. But they say that if you see someone, thank you, I appreciate that. Um, I said if you see someone who's unconscious and not breathing, they said call 911 like immediately. Um, and you can even do CPR on them. Like you don't necessarily need to be trained to do CPR, but if you push hard and fast on their chest, about 100 to 120 pushes a minute. Um, Even if you haven't been trained, just doing chest compressions. Um, his his lady was with him. She's actually a OR nurse, so she knew something earlier that she relayed to us, that she knew something was not right in earlier that day before he actually passed away, and was encouraging him to go to the hospital, go to the ER. Um, he decided that he wanted to go take care of business that they had already previously planned to do, and then if he wasn't feeling well, that he would go to the hospital. And never made it. Collapsed, taking care of that business. Okay. Um, but she was trained. She was trained. She's an OR nurse. She tried to help. Um, but I guess once he collapsed, it was like really no like bringing it back. Okay, because he was already um in the pre stages of going into cardiac arrest. Um, but like I said, if you see it and somebody's complaining with chest palpitations, they're having trouble breathing, like be mindful that they could be about to go in sudden cardiac arrest. Okay, try to get them to the hospital right away. Call 911 right away. If they faint or collapse, to start doing like chest compressions on them. They said the faster you do something, like the better it could, like better chances they may have. Like it's so sad when I think about it. The way his life ended. Um, it happened so fast and so sudden. I'm just glad that his lady was with him when it happened. And he didn't pass away alone. Um, so we are, in the process of, you know, um, getting things arranged for him. We're going to actually have something tomorrow in his honor. Say our final goodbyes, which is tough. I'm trying to get mentally prepared for it. My husband's trying to get mentally prepared for it. Um, because it's hard to say goodbye. Goodbyes are never easy, especially when they were not expected to pass away. I think for me, um, when someone is like already sick and ill, and that it could be any moment, I think it's a little easier. Like death is not easy, period, but it helps me better prepare because I already have my mind grasping the fact that any day you can transition, so it makes it easier when you do transition. But when you just talk to somebody and they literally pass away, it's harder to grasp. So yeah, but they say that even if you having like heart conditions, that it can lead to like sudden cardiac arrest. So they give like a lot of different signs and symptoms, that could help prevent it. Things that you should really like look for, be mindful of. Um, to try to prevent it. But they said sudden cardiac arrest can happen in people that don't even have like any known heart conditions, So, but they said a lot of heart conditions that can cause sudden cardiac arrest includes coronary artery disease, which is arteries that become clogged with cholesterol and other deposits that reduces the blood flow to your heart. Um, Heart attack. Um, that's severe coronary heart disease that can trigger like your ventricular fibrillation and sudden cardiac arrest, and it could leave scar tissue in the heart that could change your heartbeat. So I remember years ago when my dad, when he was 40 years old, and when he had his first heart attack. That 40 years old is so young to be having a heart attack, but it happens. Um, Clogged arteries. It's scary. It's scary. Um, so now when I go to doctors and they said, "Do you have like any history of like heart disease?" I say yes. My father um had his first heart attack at 40. So he was diagnosed with having like coronary artery disease and things like that. So these things are real. These things are real. Like know your family history, pay attention to the signs. Like you can have a large heart, what they call cardiomyopathy. guys, don't, I'm trying to say these big words, but cardiomyopathy is when you have a large heart. That your the walls of your heart muscles, they just like stretch. And they get bigger and thicker. Like if you ever heard of that, that's what that is. You can have heart valve disease, which is the leaking or narrowing of the heart valves that can lead to stretching or thickening of the heart muscle. Um, the chambers become too enlarged or weakened because of stress, tight or leaking valve, um, that can increase the risk of developing like heart rhythm problems and stuff. Sometimes you could be born, right, with a heart problem present at birth, called genital heart defect, right? Um, Sudden cardiac arrest in children or adolescents is often due to a heart problem that they're born with. Like, I know years ago, it was a family friend, their um, child was born with like a hole in their heart. So sometimes they could be you could be born with different things. You know, children can be born with it and stuff. So it could start. They call it like a congenital heart defect, right? Yeah. So these are, it's a lot of different things to like look for um when it comes to like heart disease and things like that. So Um, I just wanted to share a few with you, um, because, like I said, just had family just passed away from sudden cardiac arrest. So these things are real. You can be here today and go on tomorrow. Like life is not promised. Um, it definitely gave me a new perspective on how short life is. Um, and just take each day as it comes. Be mindful, be thankful and grateful. Love on your loved ones. Um, Take care of your health. Um, but they said the same things for heart disease can happen with sudden cardiac arrest. Like you can have like a family history of coronary artery disease. That's why I'm always getting checked for my heart. Like at one point, like my doctor was concerned about me getting coronary heart artery disease because of my dad, you know, having and suffering from it. Let's say if you smoking can cause the high blood pressure, and that's big, especially in the black community. High blood pressure is real. That can lead you into sudden cardiac arrest, which is scary. It's very scary. um, Having high blood cholesterol can lead you into um, sudden cardiac arrest. You know, so these are things that you need to be mindful of. Like get your cholesterol levels checked. You know, make sure your blood pressure is good. Like I've been, you know, I've had different bouts with high blood pressure, um, and a lot of it come from work stress. Because, like, if for all those that don't know, working with kids, and I work with the young babies too, the 5 and 6 year olds. You know, I like to teach like early elementary, because this is their most pivotal time in their life when they start learning and growing, and I like to be a part of helping teaching these babies, right? But that's where a lot of my high blood pressure comes from, right? They said obesity, and um, I know I started like on a healthier journey. And it basically started from like my knees because I have osteoarthritis in my knees, and my doctor was saying, well, you know, like the more weight you put on your knees, the worse your knees going to get because osteoarthritis doesn't go away; it just gets worse, and it degenerates your bones and your joints. And that was passed on for me from my grandma. Like she suffered from it before she passed away. Um, a few years ago. Um, so I was like, okay, well, let me be mindful of that and just, you know, start doing better and being more mindful about my health and stuff because at one point in my life, like especially when I was in my 40s, like I was like obsessed. I was obsessed. I didn't even hold y'all. Like working out like crazy, going to the gym, like 3 times a day. Like it was just like starting to be unhealthy because I was trying to keep that skinny girl lifestyle, because I always been small and I was just trying to keep that skinny girl. So I was like, then let me just, stay in the gym, just try to keep that small skinniness. But being in your teens or 20s, being thin and being like in your 40s, like it's a little different. I guess it's a little different. I mean, although you can be like a healthy thin, and then you can be like that. Okay, you doing too much, So I felt like for me, I was doing too much, right? So especially when people was like, okay, you look like you in high school, child. I'm like, all right, all right. So then my husband also was like, I do like I think you having a little thickums, a little meat is good, So I pulled back a little bit, but then I got a little too comfortable, started eating more unhealthier, indulging in a lot of sweets. And girl, them sweets, they hit a little different. Especially them sugars and stuff, they hit a little different. It's like once you get on that path to wanting to eat a lot of sweets and sugar, it's hard to get off of it. Like it makes you crave it more and more. Okay. So when I started going on my healthier journey, like um my appetite actually has like deterred from eating a lot of sweets. Like now, if eat something sweet, like my taste buds like, oof, I don't know, like it's not very receptive to it. So like you can like change your lifestyle just by like cutting out a lot of sweets and stuff like that. So like I don't even like desire it or have a taste for it. And even if I take a little piece of something, you know how people, especially with the seasons coming up, oh, try a piece of my pumpkin berry, try a piece of this, and I'll take a little pinch, and it's like, yeah, so I'm thankful for that I'm able to like curb those sugar cravings, because those be the ones that really put the weight in the pounds on you. All that sugar and stuff, especially a lot of stuff is processed, not good, not good. They say diabetes can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. Like my father has diabetes, so there's a lot of things that I have to be mindful and aware of. So like me making lifestyle changes in my 50s really hits like different, because I'm like, these are things like I have my dad, my grandma, like things that passed along, like, so it makes me nervous, because it's like, but let me do better, because I know these things happen in my family. So like I want to at least try to prevent it. You know what I mean? Try to do preventive maintenance. So, like, if something happens, if the Lord calls me home, it wasn't because I wasn't not doing the right thing. It was my time, okay? But I want to do what I can to prolong my life and try to stay as healthy as I can. But they say, and it's a lot of things that can like increase your risk of having sudden cardiac arrest too. Like if you had a previous episode of a sudden cardiac arrest or family history of it. So chances are that you might, you know if you had a previous heart attack. That's what concerns me about like my dad. Like he's had previous heart attacks, started real young. So it worries me. um that something bad can really happen and he might not come out of it. So that's always in the back of my mind. Like I said, a personal family history of heart disease. That's what I was just saying. My dad having heart disease. Growing older puts you at a higher risk, and that's inevitable. Like if you're blessed that you're gonna grow older, you're gonna get gray. you know, um, that's the part of life. But they said that puts you at a sudden cardiac arrest risk when you start getting older. Being male. Now that part I didn't really know. Being a male puts you at a higher risk of sudden cardiac arrest. So like I said, like having a big bro that just passed away from it. Um, I'm like, so that hit a little different being a male, right? But they say usually women are like big carriers of having heart attacks and like high risk of heart disease, but being male can send you into sudden cardiac arrest. I know I'm not sure how many of y'all been following like the news and stuff. All these people that's been passing away, and most of them have been males. Have y'all noticed that? Most of them have been males that have been passing away. suddenly from cardiac arrest. I mean, this stuff is real. This stuff is real. And we're losing so many of our black men. It's real. Okay. They're saying that if you use like illegal drugs, of course, like cocaine and stuff like that, that can increase sudden cardiac arrest because stuff is damaging your heart. It can bust your heart, like literally. So, like, be mindful of that. Like, especially somebody that's abusing these illegal substances. Like, say, listen, like, not good. You got your chances of going to cardiac arrest is are very high. That's just like a whole nother animal, right? Substance abuse is real, and and it's bad. It's a big epidemic in our society today. So like I just pray for anybody that knows somebody that's dealing with substance abuse, or they're having trouble getting off of it and things like that. Like, so my prayers are with you, because I know that's not something easy to see somebody go through. They're saying that even if you have low potassium or magnesium levels, that can send you into sudden cardiac arrest. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's like little things that you don't even think of. So it's like now it's just like I always like been mindful of like taking like my vitamin, my substance supplements, you know, um, just different things to like build my immune system and stuff like that. But like hearing that low potassium and magnesium levels can like cause sudden cardiac arrest. I remember when my husband had to be hospitalized last year, um having a lot of pain. Like, my husband is having health issues. I might get into that in another segment. I'm not gonna like talk about that right now, but one of the times he was rushed to the hospital, they said his potassium and his magnesium levels were really low. So when I say that's real, and like high blood pressure, like the pressure was up, like 200 something over like 190. Like, it was bad. Like, they were like scared that he was about to go into like a massive heart attack. So it's very scary. It's very scary. So like these things that I'm talking about, like I've been like directly affected by it or impacted in some form. So that's why I'm bringing this knowledge to you. Just things to look out for. Be aware of. You might know somebody that's suffering with it, or I just want to just like talk about it. And hopefully somebody takes something from it. They saying that if you have a sleep disorder, that's a structure that's called like obstructive sleep apnea. You know how some people like their airways are obstructed, like, and they might have sleep apnea. And people use like CPAP machines. Those are pretty much recommended for a reason, because they can stop your heart. If you have sleep apnea, that you can literally have your heart can stop, because you're not getting enough oxygen and stuff. So they said that can send you into cardiac arrest. And last thing is chronic kidney disease. So that's another one that hits for me, because although I don't have chronic kidney disease, I was like literally born with one kidney, so I have to treat it well. And I didn't realize it until I had like some scans, and it's like, you only got one kidney, right? I'm like, oh no, I didn't know that. So I have to really take care of that. Okay, and a lot of things can damage your kidney, so you have to be mindful of that. Um, but it says a lot of ways that you can prevent it. Okay, it's nothing foolproof, nothing foolproof, but you can prevent it. Um, you know, in different ways. I mean, you can try, but like I said, like it's always a lot of determining factors, like some of the things I just said. But they said eating healthy, so that's what I've been trying to do: eat healthier, getting regular checkups, not smoking or use tobacco. Never done that. Can't stand the smell of it. Never thought about it. No desire to try it. Okay. So, being screened for heart disease. Yeah, I have been trying to do screenings, but that's something to keep mindful of, that getting screenings for it. Especially if you had a history of it, or like you're going through any of the symptoms that I said. Um, just be mindful of that. Just say I want to get screened. You know, to see how my heart's doing. and controlling your blood pressure and your cholesterol are big. That's a big deal. That's a real big deal. So I'm trying to get better with controlling my blood pressure. Try not to let the kids stress me out too much. A doctor did put me on some blood pressure meds because I had that um whew, big bout with my blood pressure going up last school year. Because that was really rough school year. I'm surprised I even made it through the school year because it was rough. That was a year that really made me want to reevaluate my career choice. Like maybe it's time for me to stop teaching, get out of education. Okay. So but yeah, just watch your blood pressure, watch your cholesterol. Um, just be mindful of these things. I always say that life happens, and I design a lot of I talk about based on real life situations or things that I can relate to or talk about. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. For those that are here, if you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, we have started going live every Sunday for our Sister Talk Sundays. My sister, she is my co-host. As y'all can see, sometimes things happen to where she might get a bad signal. I was glad that last week that we were able to actually be in one space and have our sister talk live. Um, so that was cool. So I'm trying to get her more to be side by side with me. We do our sister talk live, but I know my sister has a lot going on, so it makes it easier for her to just join in as a co-host. But as many times I could get her to be side by side, so we could just eliminate a lot of the phone issues and stuff like that. That would be super awesome, super awesome, super awesome. But again, I appreciate you guys for being here. You could be doing anything on a Sunday, but you are here on the Sister Talk Live. I hope to see you guys next Sunday at 3 o'clock, and I hope somebody took away something today. I know I talked about a lot. It got heavy at times. You know, I shared some things that I've never shared before. But I hope that I was able to help somebody and that you were able to get some um, knowledge or awareness or be enlightened about something that you may have not known or maybe you have been experienced or been a part of. Okay. But I appreciate you guys for being here so much. If you have not done anything for yourself, please do something for you. I'm always talking about self care and self awareness. Be good to you, be good to yourself. You have to be good to you so you can be good to others. Okay, it starts with you. Um, I hope to see you guys back next Sunday, 3 o'clock, for our next Sister Talk Sunday. Have a great rest of the day and the rest of the week. So, as I say, our family has a lot ahead of us. I have to go and handle some more business. So, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. All love. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Okay, talk to you soon.